It is time now for a preview of a story on the next episode of The Reveal. 11 Alive's investigative team and the series takes a closer look at the stories that are making a difference right here in our community. Investigative reporter Andy Pierrotti is back with more. I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes, and for anyone who has not seen The Reveal, this is what we try to do, is just give you a sneak peek of some of the hard-hitting stories, topics that they tackle each and every week. And this time, it's quite a doozy. It involves a retired judge, right?
Yeah, actually two different judges, two former judges. One accused of murdering his adopted son, the other who presided over his case. A little backstory, 2015, Paul Hamilton is accused of killing his adopted son. A few years later, goes to trial. A jury unanimously finds him guilty. But when the judge is supposed to sentence him to life behind bars, he says, hold up, I'm going to order a new trial on my own motion. Naming himself, they call it naming himself the 13th juror, basically reversing all the 12 jurors' decisions.
The time, the effort, the consideration that the jury took into account this case, and then he can just reverse it.
Yeah.
Did he explain why he made that decision?
The only explanation that he provided was that I think that there were errors that were made in this trial. And by Georgia law, he doesn't even have to explain himself pretty much any further than that.
That doesn't... How is this legal? I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be legal that, you know, kind of taking the necessary steps that we think of traditionally with the juror, that then that one person can just negate it all.
So we posed that question to a Georgia State University law professor, asking her, hey, how is this legal? And considering Georgia judges are largely elected in our state, should they provide a better explanation when they do this? Take a listen to what she said.
Okay.
One of the problems with our criminal justice system is a lack of transparency. And when decisions are made that people don't understand, I think it's up to the players, the people in power, to make those decisions clear and to explain themselves so that people are not left with the feeling that either something fishy is going on, something unjust is going on, or the judge is simply acting arbitrarily.
And what are the next steps? Where do they go from here?
So the district attorney, in this case, Barrow County Brad Smith, he says that they plan to move forward. It'll probably happen next year.
And I mean, I had never heard of this before, the 13th juror. What is the background on this? Has this happened before? Is it common?
It has happened before, but up until just a few years ago, this was basically like a unicorn. You know, you heard about it, but you never really actually saw it. But for whatever reason, it's been increasing over the past few years. It surprised a lot of jurors. Listen to this juror that we spoke with earlier this year after a judge in Cherokee County reversed a child molestation conviction.
He said it was a gut-wrenching decision from his standpoint. I was like, what about us? You know, there was 12 of us that every night had to come home to our spouses and our family and everything else and had to chew on this.
Wow. How does it impact, do you think, the criminal justice system as a whole?
I spoke to numerous district attorneys that are upset, obviously, when this happens. And they say if this continues, this will erode the public's trust in Georgia's criminal justice system. So it has big implications.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it. How many of us really, when we are voting for our judges, really know that much about their history, you know, the way that they try cases, their background, their experience? Maybe now, if this continues, this will be something that we'll definitely be really looking into.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Andy. Appreciate your time. And don't forget to tune into The Reveal. It's Sundays, 6 p.m. right here on 11 Alive. Thank you again.